My name is Elaine Vickers and this is my Cancer Basics video series. In this video, I'm going to discuss why our treatments often aren't as effective as we want them to be, especially if the person's cancer has spread around their body. The problem is that cancer cells are forever changing. If cancer cells stayed the same generation after generation, then a drug that could kill one cancer cell would kill all cancer cells and the person would be cured. But instead, cancer cells are genomically unstable. They keep changing. Genomically unstable means that their genome, their DNA, is constantly picking up new mutations. That's because cancer cells are bad at noticing when their DNA is damaged, and they're bad at repairing any damage that occurs. And they live in an unhealthy environment, low in oxygen, acidic, and full of chemicals that cause more damage. Lastly, they're insensitive to damage and driven to survive and keep on multiplying, come what may. This means that by the time someone is diagnosed with cancer, there are lots of different populations of cancer cells in their body, something that scientists call intratumoral heterogeneity. Some of these populations will be growing and multiplying faster than others. Some will be more resilient and more likely to survive the effects of treatment. Some might be more adaptable or more likely to spread. This variation also impacts the cancer's visibility to the person's immune system. For example, some populations might go unnoticed by T cells or NK cells, or the cancer cells might change nearby macrophages and cause them to become cancer protecting rather than cancer killing. This variability also affects how a cancer responds to treatment. If there's lots of variation, then it's inevitable that not all cancer cells are going to respond to treatment in the same way. Any treatment the person takes is going to kill some populations of cancer cells and not others. Their cancer might even disappear from scans, but surviving cells, wherever they are in the body, continue to multiply and the person is told their cancer has returned. Something I plan to come back to in future videos is that some cancer cells are more vulnerable to chemotherapy, whilst other cancer cells are more vulnerable to targeted therapy and yet others to immunotherapy. Combinations of treatments that work in different ways make a lot of sense. But they're not always possible, perhaps because of the side effects they'd cause, or they don't work because of cells that are resistant to everything, or because of cells that are really well protected by their environment. To recap, cancer cells are genomically unstable and they continually add more mutations to their DNA, and that means they change and diversify over time. By the time someone is diagnosed with cancer, there are many different populations of cancer cells in their body. Some treatments might kill some cells, other treatments kill others, but no one treatment is going to kill them all. Using a combination of treatments, whilst useful, is not always possible and not always as effective as you'd hope.